Good morning, everyone. Today I thought I would tell you about a journal that I made called Jane's Garden. The inspiration for this journal came from these gorgeous papers by a company called Blue Fern. I'd never heard of this company before, and I just happened upon the papers on Etsy, and I fell in love with them, so I immediately ordered a set, and I believe you get 10 to 12 pages. They're very nice quality. They're thicker than some. They have a nice feel to them, and I just had to make something right away with them. I thought about making a sewn-in journal, which I've done numerous times, but I wanted to do something different. I wanted to incorporate a lot of my own papers from other collections, and I wanted to be able to see both sides of these beautiful papers. So I decided to use the disc method, which you may or may not have seen. These are plastic discs that you can buy, and the only thing you need in addition to those is one of these punchers. And I got this from Michael's. It's made by the Happy Planner. And it's basically a hole punch. And it's made so that these papers can just slide right into the disc. Very easy, simple method. What's nice is, if you want to make something a little more quickly, you don't want to fool with sewing, this is a great thing to do. So I thought I would share and show you how it works. So in the front, I used a beautiful die cut that I purchased this one. I can't remember the name of the store. It was on Etsy. But she makes beautiful, beautiful die cuts. I'll try to find that and link it below. And then I just put a little glitter on. What I like to do is laminate the front and back cover when I make a journal like this. To give you an example, here's another one I did. And it makes it more durable, I think. Oops, sorry for that shaking. It's my phone holder. But I really like doing that. And I use this self-seal laminating pouch. Very easy to do and simple, and just protects your cover. Now, I guess in a way, it would take away a little bit of the error, and this is kind of a old-fashioned type journal. So I'm not absolutely sure I'm going to do it yet, but I might, just because it's more durable. So as you can see, you get to see both sides of the paper. This is just tea-dyed paper, and the pages just maneuver so well on these discs. You wouldn't think so. To look at it, you would think, oh, that wouldn't be sturdy or durable, but I tell you, especially with the thicker papers, it's fantastic, and I really think it will last a long time. They don't slip out, they stay in, unless you have a really thin paper. I have had no problems. And the other nice thing is your journal is totally flat, so it makes it easy to write or sketch on your papers. I love this one. And this one was from another collection I had. I just really love the script. Now here's an example of how you can take a scrap piece and fit it into this journal. You can really make them any size, so you don't have a lot of waste with your papers. And if you have some old scraps and they match your other papers, great way to use them up. Just added some pretty lace. just want to make sure you can see it. Sorry, I'm not so good at this filming part. When I went to England about 1.5 years ago, I went to Bath with my husband, and Jane Austen had a house there, and I went to that house, and it was just the most wonderful experience. If you ever have a chance to go to Bath, England, please do go. That house is set up just like it was in her time, and you get to see the fashions that she wore. You get to see her family. They have a slide presentation, and you get to see her writing instruments and her desk, and I was enthralled. I could have spent days there actually, but my husband wasn't as excited as I was. But still, it was just fabulous. And as a souvenir, before I left, I went in the gift shop and bought a deck of cards. And this was just one of them that I scanned to put in this journal. And of course, this is Mr. Darcy. This is an old little envelope I had in my stash. Put some cute little things inside. This was from the collection. Just an old little figure that I found online that I thought was kind of similar to her era. And I have some old paper dolls, and I scanned one of the dresses, and I thought that was kind of appropriate too for her time. Then I have the Language of Flowers book. It's just a tiny little old book, and I scanned the front cover, and I just love that little picture. Isn't that dear? And I just sewed it together with some blank pages inside, and this made a little mini book with some pretty silk flowers. This is also a picture from the little book. So here's a way to make a simple pocket. I just glued down the sides and the bottom and put some pretty roses on top. And these also are from the collection. This one says, "Pictures of perfection make me sick and wicked." That was one of Jane's quotes. I love that quote because I am not a perfectionist. And I just, go with the flow. This was from a different collection, but I thought it matched well. Just an envelope that I put in. Another thing you can do, very simple, just choose the straight side without the flap. I stamped it, put a little quote there, and this is just a little postcard that I put inside that could, well, I guess it could still be used. This was from the collection. And I used a lot of stamps in my journal from a company called Oxford Impressions. This is the set that I used. And this was also called Jane's Garden. Honestly, I didn't see that until after I made the journal, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's a coincidence. So I used quite a few of these. You'll see them throughout. Life is the flower for which love is the honey. You can see this little bee I stamped upside down by mistake, so I just put the quote above him so it kind of looks like he's sitting on top of the script. You can always make your mistakes better. Sometimes mistakes really make things much better. They teach us so much. This is another little stamp from that collection. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. I think that's true. Now here's a little flip. This was from a Graphics 45 collection of papers that I had. Just a 6x6 paper. You can put these anywhere on the disc that you want. So I could take this out, I could put it down at the bottom, could put it up at the top. I love this beautiful lace trim that I had on hand. Matched this design from the collection beautifully. Just gorgeous papers, those Blue Fern papers. Here's another one. Some more. I mean, look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? It's a little postcard I stuck in. Little tags, little ribbon, bookmark. That's from the collection. Love, love, love this page. Is that gorgeous? I just added some lace at the top and some little mother of pearl buttons on the book. Beautiful stamp from that Oxford Impressions. And this is just a little envelope. And I printed out Thoughts of My Heart and put that in. Over here I have a pocket to put a picture in or whatever you'd like. Just slides right in. I bought this from a shop on Etsy and I thought it was so beautiful. Just an empty envelope and I just put it right in there. Now these were from a different collection, but I thought they were very fitting. Just a little flip page, added some lace, stamped a teapot. I'm sure Jane drank lots of tea. There she is again. This is a pocket. Teacup stamp. Pretty little pockets. These came with the papers. Beautiful flower trim at the bottom. And this is an old antique key that I put in there. I added the little buttons. Spency old coffee dyed paper. And you can see this is very thin paper. So of all the papers, this is the only kind that I think you'd have to be careful with, and I wouldn't be pulling it in or out. And that's the nice thing too about this type of journal. If you make a mistake, or if say I didn't like this in the journal, I could just take it out and you just carefully undo like that and take it all the way down and it's out. Or if you decide, no, I really like that in there, you can put it right back in. This is a design I made on my computer, and I just printed it out with this design next to it. I got this from an old 1800s book. So I printed those out on a 8.5 by 11 sheet, folded in half, and then just punched it and put it in the book. Sorry about my dog snoring. If you hear a snort now and then, that's my Cavalier King Charles. Some more pages, some more scrap from my collection, so you can use most of it really. And a quote. I made a little, what do you call that? Oh shoot, I can't think. Tuck spot, thank you. And that's a quote from Pride and Prejudice. When I fall in love, it will be forever. Oh, so I made some die cuts and put that at top and bottom. And all these blank sheets could be journaled on, could sketch on them. This is another sheet that I made on my computer, digitized and printed out. Just another quote by Jane Austen. Her silhouette and a die cut, old paper doily. Tea time, another envelope, and some more cards from that collection. Some real pretty little journaling cards. Just love them. Now, say you wanted to decorate this, but you didn't have time at first, and you could just stick that in there, and later when you had a chance, you could take a piece of decorative paper, or you don't want it to be too thick with an envelope because this is already thick, and the hole punch, I would say, would only take, say, a lightweight piece of paper and the envelope, nothing else. You don't want to put two thick pieces of paper in here. It would be a very tight fit. So I think this would work because it's just copy paper. So I could take the envelope out, put on my decorative paper, cut it to fit, and then punch it and put it back in. It's the last page. I love that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love it. And that's the back. And I had a great time making this, and I think you would too. Please like, and I'd love to read any comments that you might have, and I really appreciate you watching, and hope to come back with another journal another day. Thanks, and take care. Bye.